The room had been vibrating with laughter when the insult first cut the air. "This is going to be fun, old fool," the wealthy man sneered, his voice soaked in arrogance, echoing across polished marble and chandeliers. 100 eyes turned, some narrowing with scorn, some glittering with amusement, none with compassion. And in the midst of that glittering crowd stood a man who had once commanded silence with nothing more than the weight of his presence. Now, his coat was torn, his boots scuffed, his shoulders weary. He carried the smell of rain-soaked streets and the bitter sting of being invisible. The crowd saw only a homeless wanderer. They did not see the veteran. They did not see the years of sacrifice carved into the lines on his face, nor the music still waiting in his fingers. But the piano, silent, black, and waiting, seemed to see him. He had entered the room quietly, almost apologetically, as though ashamed to disturb the delicate perfume of privilege that lingered in the air. The gala was for the city's elite, men in tuxedos and women in gowns stitched with sequins that caught the light like stars. Between crystal glasses and laughter, the piano had been little more than a decoration, a gilded toy for background melodies. Until he approached it. The maitre d' frowned at the sight of him. His shirt was frayed, his jacket bore holes that told stories of cold nights. The stares burned into him, but he did not flinch. He asked only one thing, in a voice so quiet the audience almost missed it. "Can I play it for food?" A ripple of laughter answered him. Forks paused, wine glasses clinked. The host, a man known for both wealth and cruelty, leaned back in his chair and grinned. To him this was sport. "Play? On my piano? Fine. Entertain us. But don't expect applause, old man. This is charity at its finest." The veteran nodded once. Not in gratitude, but in acknowledgement. He carried more than rags on his back. He carried memories of deserts and battlefields where the sun beat down mercilessly, where the smell of dust and gunpowder blended with the metallic tang of blood. He had once played music there, too, in tents, in makeshift chapels, on battered keyboards shipped overseas. He had played for men who never came home. He had played through grief, through trembling hands, through nights when silence felt unbearable. The piano had been his weapon as much as his rifle. And though the world had forgotten him, the keys had not. The host laughed louder now, drawing others into the cruel chorus. "Let's see what those dirty fingers can do. Entertain us, veteran." The word veteran was spit like an insult, but the man who stood before them carried it like armor. He sat. The bench creaked under his weight. For a moment, his fingers hovered above the keys, and the room stilled with the anticipation of ridicule. The wealthy leaned forward, hungry for failure. The waiters froze, unwilling participants in this unfolding spectacle. And then he played. Not notes. Not melodies. Source. The first touch of ivory was soft, hesitant, like a whisper. Then the sound grew, blooming into chords that filled the gilded hall with something raw, something true. His hands no longer trembled. They commanded. They soared. They unleashed sorrow and triumph, weaving them together in a tapestry so achingly beautiful that laughter died mid-throat. The guests stared, wide-eyed. Some clutched their glasses tighter. Some forgot to breathe. The veteran did not look at them. His eyes were closed, his face lifted as though hearing voices only he could summon. Each chord struck was a heartbeat, each melody a memory resurrected. In his mind, he was no longer in that hall. He was back on the battlefield, under a sky scorched by sun, playing for soldiers who gathered in silence after days of chaos. He saw their faces, young and weary, lit by the dim glow of lanterns. He remembered the way music had been their refuge, the only thing that reminded them they were human in a place designed to strip that away. And now, that same music held this glittering crowd hostage. The host, once grinning, now shifted uncomfortably. He had mocked a man he thought powerless, only to be silenced by the very thing he dismissed. A single line of melody sliced sharper than any blade. The arrogance in his smile drained, replaced by something he could not name, fear, perhaps. Or shame. The crowd, once complicit, now sat in stunned reverence. And in that silence, the veteran gave them not anger, not bitterness, but beauty. The piece ended not with thunder but with quiet, a lingering chord that faded like a prayer into the corners of the hall. No one clapped. Not because they did not want to, but because their hands could not move. The weight of what they had witnessed pinned them still. Finally, one voice broke through, trembling with awe. That was not music. That was truth. The words hung heavy, undeniable. The veteran stood, his movements slow but steady. He did not bow. He did not smile. He simply gathered his coat, the torn fabric brushing against the polished piano as though to remind them of the gulf between his world and theirs. His eyes met the host's for the first time, and in that silence came a line that would never be forgotten. Respect is earned, not given. And silence speaks louder than mockery. The host lowered his gaze. The laughter had died long ago, but now even pride deserted him. Around him, guests rose, not to leave, but to stand. One by one, they pushed back chairs and stood in solemn silence, a gesture of respect that needed no words. The room that had greeted him with ridicule now watched him depart with honor. And though he walked away empty-handed, he carried something far greater. For weeks after, whispers spread. Some said he was once a prodigy, a piano legend who vanished after war swallowed his youth. Others said he had taught himself in foxholes, coaxing music out of broken instruments. But all agreed on one truth. They had mocked a man whose spirit could not be broken. And they would never forget it. Two quotes would echo long after that night, written into the memory of everyone present. Respect is earned, not given. Silence speaks louder than mockery. The veteran disappeared into the city streets once more, but he left behind something indelible, a reminder that beneath rags may lie greatness, that honor cannot be erased by circumstance, and that dignity, once revealed, commands reverence from even the cruelest hearts. And so, as the story spread, it carried with it a reflection worth holding. How many silent heroes walk among us, dismissed because of their appearance, forgotten because of their circumstance? How many battles have they fought that we will never see? Perhaps the next time someone asks for food or a chance or a moment of kindness, we might remember that greatness often hides where the world least expects it. Because respect is not in wealth or laughter or power. It is in the quiet strength of those who endure. Wherever you are watching from, take a moment to honor those who walk silently among us. Share your thoughts below. And if you believe in stories that shine light on unseen heroes, subscribe.